One ugly mother.
Hey guys, welcome back to RBB. So I was talking to a fellow YouTuber the other day, young guy, fast on the trigger, and he was explaining to me how he was very frustrated about some of the aftermarket parts that he had on his gun. He had an aftermarket slide and the gun wasn't very reliable. And to that, I started to kind of laugh and said, what do you expect from a parts gun? And he just looked at me like,
what the f did you just call me?
And that's when it hit me that maybe there is some information that the older generation can pass along to the younger generation about the times we're living in right now. Now, I know you may be thinking, what could an old guy tell me that I can't learn off the internet? Well,
maybe we should hop in the time machine for this one. Since guns have been made, they were either built and put together by one person or by a craftsman that would design, mill, fit, put together, and then test each gun they made.
Then the 19th century came along and companies that would mass produce firearms, but there was still need for craftsmen to hand fit certain parts.
If and when a fitted part wore out, eventually regional and local gunsmiths cropped up that could obtain a part from the company and then hand fit the replacement to your particular gun.
Even up to the time of the double-action revolver and the 1911 weapon systems, when they were state-of-the-art, certain parts still had to be hand-fitted to each firearm. This eventually evolved into all of the parts being machined identically at the factory. No more hand-fitting required.
As far back as the late 1980s, when Glock representatives came to try and present their guns to a new law enforcement agency, they would show up with bins of each gun part and then encourage the shooters to pick random parts from each bin in order to put together a complete gun.
Now, I'm not saying that Glock invented the concept, just that they were the best representative of it at the time and remain so today. And here we find ourselves in what seems to be a new era, the age of the parts gun.
Today we have hundreds of aftermarket manufacturers making thousands of aftermarket parts for just the Glock platform alone. And that's a good thing. But it comes with a catch, and this is at the crux of today's video. I think most can recognize that parts from different manufacturers come in a range of tolerance specifications.
Moreover, in today's world of CNC machines and computer-aided design, those parts tolerances can be wickedly accurate.
But when you have literally 5, 10, or even more aftermarket parts from different manufacturers all pieced together on the same gun, they don't always work and play well together.
And this is when we, the consumers, have to do our part.
When you add a new part to an already reliably functioning gun, you have to test it all over again for reliability. Now, I'm not talking about slapping parts onto a range toy. If all you're doing is trying to create a conversation piece for your friends to be envious of, it really doesn't matter if that gun goes bang or not. I'm talking about self-defense tools, the kind that if you need it, your life may depend on it.
But I'm not saying that aftermarket parts are worthless. Actually, I'm saying just the opposite. It's amazing to me how many are available today, and even more amazing how many are so incredibly reliable compared to just a few years ago.
But even today, that's not always the case. And it's because of living through those times that we became initially distrustful of aftermarket parts, and many of us remain so today until we take it out to the range and test it ourselves. Because of this, it's best to develop a system for testing any aftermarket parts each time you attach them to your self-defense tools before they can be trusted. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you right back here next time on Ranges, Backstops, and Berms.